Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and well, again, we are going back to the cultural enrichment. Zionist wants to Japan, and again, we have another of this cultural enricher did something fucking nasty to a dude, to a teenager, where he stabbed him many times just to steal his wallet, just as we can see here. And this is one of many cases because, well, this account has everyone covered in that regard. And then we have someone fucking far worse. This one. A Sri Lanka migrant committed to struggle smuggling in Japan, and the motherfucker still applying for refugee status to avoid deportation. Now look at this. Those fucking idiots. They think they are not going to behave. They are uncivilized monkeys. But sure as hell, when you tell them about the legal system to take advantage of it, they're going to do it. All of these third world countries that have a lot of third world country parasites flooding in, they are just like that. They are going to abuse everything they have. Just like that fucking Venezuelan saying that he's going to profit from the US by being a squatter, taking houses and saying, "Oh, now it's my house." It's the same shit going in Japan. And apparently they were updating the law to avoid shit bastards like this. Keep free on the where don't belong. And funny enough, that yeah, this one even went trending from that Johnny Somali starting drama in Israel, and now, well, something that is hilarious and all is that yeah, you have two sides of the story. Johnny Somali is a piece of shit, and nobody wants them. And the fact that he did shit in the Zionist land is kind of hilarious because they are not going to let him go free that easily. On the other hand, well, the Zionists wanted this for everyone, but not for them. That's the other side of the same situation. They were pushing for the nonsense of mass immigration in Europe and now in Japan, importing the worst of their own. But that's it. That's why that's why the shit is going to keep spreading. And oh wow, we have even more shit like this.
ששמע חדשות, שמע שמוחמד זה השם הכי נפוץ באנגליה, נכון? אז אנחנו רוצים שזה יהיה השם הכי נפוץ באנגליה ושיהיה המון מוחמד באנגליה, בשוודיה, בצרפת, לא פה, זה מה שאנחנו רוצים.
Ah, the tiny hats. That's why I keep saying between this conflict between Israel and Palestine, there is not good sides, and I will be gladly happy if they just take each other and they just leave everyone else in peace. But they don't want that. Even they fucking are colluded to just keep taking Europe and right now Japan. And this is just another one example. Another one example, yeah, how Japan needs to change to welcome migrants. So yeah, it's true. Both sides of that conflict are fucking evil. But you have to take in consideration that the tiny hats in Israel have the backup of the United States. How the fuck do you have that kind of backup? How seriously you have to start asking that question? Using the taxpayer money of their citizens that, well, they don't want to support wars. Funny enough how that works. Yeah, because not everyone is take advantage of losing their lives for a country that hates them. Imagine my shock. Why are your kids supporting them? Well, the answer is always the industrial military complex taking profit of that because that's what keeps US afloat. But other things could keep them afloat, but well, since you have elites taking advantage of that, that's the end result. And now when you have articles like this, because I remember one is this fucking novel called the Israel Times, even shitting on Mexican celebrations that happened at the end of March. It is called the Holy Week, Semana Santa, where they in some states they celebrate having a piñata made of Judas, and they were kicking off that piñata, and the fact that that outlet, just like this one, they start saying you should stop hate of the ones that betray you. And I'm just like, you can make that up. How is that fucking possible? How do you are supporting that? Yeah, they should, a whole country should ban their own celebrations from a historical figure, and especially Judas. Now, seriously, I want to know. And the fact that they were Titanic had saying that, oh man, it's it's the nonsense that the world is dealing right now. The Zionists pushing all of the agenda to everyone else. And look, this is from this dude Noam Smith. My Jewish ancestors were forced into cultural boxing in whole Europe. The sexual, no, the institution of sexual education, where the whole transformer ideology was born there, and they were managed by the tiny hats. And World War II Germans destroyed that institute instead of showing to the world what happened. That's what that makes you thinking that, well, they did shit to children. I can assume that, but why they were destroying that without leaving a trace? And then the years later, they are pointed out that, yeah, something like that existed in Germany in the 30s before World War II started. Funny how that shit works. Again, I just pointed out some of the many stuff that's going on. And again, we have another one joke. The association to eliminate discrimination from Saitama. Because from this account, yeah, I got the news that the governor of Saitama wants to protect Kurdish and saying that the Japanese, are the evil white mans that must be purged. That's how some World War II shit's going on there. That was going World War II levels of saying the quiet part loud that they what they want to do to their own born national citizens. Oh man. And yeah, again, funny from this account, and I saw it in many places in other accounts that in other instances of other accounts that they showed that even these fucking Muslims don't like anime and things.
Watching animes. Anime is something that is addictive.
Yeah, and what's the problem? Do you want teenagers blowing themselves up in the name of Allah? Seriously, I just at this point I don't have sympathy for any of those religions, considering how they behave.
It makes you addicted to watching it. And you watch one episode, you watch season one, you watch season 150.
Then you get old, and honestly, you can't keep up with all of the shows. that's what happens to me nowadays.
And it's the same trash, the same events. The hero in the beginning has
And that's where you get a part that, yeah, you should not support Muslims if they are behaving like this.
a tough upbringing, and then his life goes on, and then he finds challenges, and he becomes stronger, and you start supporting him and backing him up, and then he may fall in love and may get his heart broken. A number of tragedies happen down the way. He almost gets killed, and he comes back and he wins. The same old crap, excuse my French. And it's making youngsters addicted to it. Now, the problem is that it is part of the steps of shaitan. So maybe the thing that you're watching doesn't have nudity yet, or music, or extreme violence.
Funny how even violence in Japan got toned out years later. But well. I keep telling people do not support any of those both sides if they are going to behave like fucking deranged cocks. And funny enough, atheists when you criticize Islam instead of Christianity. Islam have no place in Western society and you can clearly see read it being read it. And stoned us. That's that's the mean that I keep saying that yeah it's still relevant. They want to take both sides in the Catholic and Christian church and sadly from those two churches, those two religions, they cock themselves out to these fucking idiots. And just like I am the mindset of treat people like they treat you, and both of these sides wants to treat you like shit. Reciprocate. That's a valid reason. And I know again LGHDTV nonsense being pushed. Despite that, yeah, a lot of stuff it was in their fucking culture, but no, it was HDLD TV8 nonsense. This was not like that. Even yaoi and yuri content in anime they were from the 70s. There is not nothing new, but they were not fucking propagandists to push the agenda on kids and to do things to kids. Because I keep saying the HDLGTV cult are just a bunch of pedophiles. Now that said, that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you here. That yeah, Japan is having the same fucking problems, and it's not going away. But well, that's what we had here. To everyone who watched this video, thanks. I thank you a lot for doing that, and I hope you have a pretty good day.